Alright guys, today I'm going to show you my new tires and wheels for the X3. That part on top is not relevant at this moment, just kind of ignore it for a second. These are the System 3 XTR 370's in the 33 by 10 by 15. I know they offer 30s, 32s, and 35s. I don't, in this tire, I don't know what else size, obviously these 33s I have. But I'm not sure what else, 14s, 15s, I'm going to say on the 32 ups. So there's that. They advertise these to be a 1-inch lug, which, I'd say is truly close if not. Looks really good, a lot of tread. A lot of tires don't have that. They also advertise these to be true to size. Which would be, probably maxing or whatever operator suggested pressure be 33. I think most are 14 psi. My Rockzillas I use right now in a 32 is like 31 and a half, or maybe a little bit more. It's under a 3/4, I know, at 14 pounds. Okay, so we'll move on to our rim. I got the KMC Addict 2s. In the fact they're 5+1s, so a 6-inch wide rim, should be factory offset as far as no width movement or anything. Here they come with the hardware kit already in them, as far as that is, to lock your bead ring down. The last one I got, I don't think had this in it, this cap here. It's a black cap. I believe you can replace the this ring here with, but that is what this ring is that I got in my hand here. I told you it's a black ring to replace that, because I don't have red on my machine, so I'll use that. Probably keep these hubcaps for just in case. That looks beautiful. And here's the beadlock ring. Looks good. I like that the bolt holes sit back in there. You can see the lips back inside, so it's harder to hit the bolt. Let me get this. I also ordered this kit for lug nuts. I don't know if it has I think it's M12 by 1.5. Yeah, M12 1.5 is the thread size and pitch of the studs for the X3. At least it is on mine. So in this kit, I got lug nuts, there's valve stems, and there's a spline socket back here already. So, that's pretty easy to deal with. That's a good deal. Here's a picture of the box, just so y'all know where to order from or what have you. I ordered this stuff from Rock Life Off-Road in Monticello, Kentucky. Good people to deal with, or good guy. I will not say, I guess people kind of be an overstatement. So, I'm probably going to only show mounting one up, just because, it ain't that big of a deal. You mount one tire up, you mount the rest of them up. So, first thing I want to do before I start getting into it is I'm going to change this ring. And I'm going to put this valve stem in. I just got it right there's the hole actually. So I'll see you then. Alright, so I got one mounted up here. I set mine to about 14-15 pounds to torque the bolts here. Valve stem, here you go. Like I said, that came in the kit, so I don't know what size or nothing it is, but it worked. I used a little bit of I got like some kind of bead sealer, I guess you call it. It's like a gel, it feels like. And I just lubed that around the valve stem where it pops up into the rim here, to keep it. I use one of these. I believe it's called a 4-way tool. Slime makes them. You can get them at like Tractor Supply, auto parts stores, or whatever. You can use this end here, just turn it onto the threaded part of the valve here. Then you just take it and grab it like, so, and pull. And you'll pop it up. You can feel it pop up in there. Then, like I said, I torqued my beadlocks too after doing that, and got my center ring changed here. Looks a lot better. When I do my beadlock rings, I go like north, south, east, west, and then I just start skipping around like that, working my way around to get a bunch of them. I also do those at a lower poundage. The lower is this, it's a 1/2 inch drive, that's all I have here. The lowest it would go was 10 foot pound. So that's what I left it on. I just, like I said, I worked them around. Once I got them, you know, all of them done 10, I stepped it up to 15, and I did the same thing this way. Then after I got it done that way, I went in a circle motion, you know, just like clockwise, counterclockwise, whichever which way, to tighten them up, you know. Give them, I went over mine twice to make sure I had a good torque on them and stuff. You don't want those coming loose or being loose because they'll leak air. So, alright, I'm going to jab these on the machine, jab my other ones together and put them on the machine, or we'll see what we got then. Alright guys, here's a quick little view of just how it looks on the X3, the wheels and tire package. You can get center caps instead of the rings that are black. I'm not sure what other colors that cover that whole part, but I wanted something a little bit different. I got a buddy that's running these wheels in the satin gray, I believe, and he went with the black caps, you know, that cover that center hole. So I just sort of mixed it up and used them black rings. It comes with red rings. And I've got some the octane blue, I believe is the color, stuff on mine. So I wanted to mix it up, like I said, and I just used those black rings with my factory center caps. I mean, could look better, but it is what it is. So there's that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you could like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Alright guys, so another update on that. Drill battery not quite up to par, as in it's dead. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my cluster glass, or plastic, whatever it is. So, with that said, I've got the new one here. Mine came packaged in a bag, and then it had like a, sort of like a cling wrap, you know, just all over. I had to peel off, so that took a minute. But this is just it with all that removed, you know, nothing, I mean, you know, whatever, it is what it is. So, as far as I can tell, there's just these two torque screws, and if you have nothing over here like I do, I have the Razorback gauge mount, and I used it, you know, modified it for my switch panel here that I've done in an earlier video. It's got two Phillips heads just in the factory spots. So, if you have the factory one, you'll just use that Torx on over there too. You know, the Razorback, you just need a Phillips. And that's nice though too, so that way it's easier to notice if you're putting the bolts right in the back spot. Because if you don't put the longer bolts back in the Razorback mount, it'll sort of pull the threads out real easy, you know, because it don't engage enough threads in the plastic. So, like I said, you know, just be careful of that if you have something like this. If not, no big deal. It is what it is. They're all should be the same according to the part numbers I looked up. So I'm going to get my Torx here to take that off right quick, and I'll get back with you. Alright, so I got that off. I don't know where to start on this part just because it's kind of a pain. Let me set that up there for a second. So, as I found out, I assumed that all that came out in the glass or something, you know, like it didn't be part of an assembly. So this back piece here is just an assembly with the cluster and all that in it, like it's just one piece. So be careful when you're taking the glass off, because if you break one of those, it's broke unless you replace the cluster, and I'm not sure how much that is. I found out you could buy just the glass, and I'm like, okay, cool, a few minute project, let's go. But okay, so I got all them tabs loose. Like I said, I pulled that out. This piece came out with my glass, which it just sits like that. And the way I sort of noted it was, that's the like the mile or odometer readout, I mean, will be on bottom, and then up top here you can see the two little places for the buttons, and there's that, you know, that's your button spot there on those. So here's the old glass out, no big deal. There's only one other thing to take note of when you do that, and it was these buttons. Mine was just sort of Let me get it set back up here real quick. Mine's, oh, that's upside down. I'm sorry, I'm screwing up. So they just sort of set up there like that. Mine was over top, just, you know, under the black cover. So be careful of those. Make sure you don't lose those. So I'm going to get my other glass over here. And you should just, you know, basically reverse this process to get it back together. So first thing I'm going to do is flip my glass piece over here. Make sure it's noted, you know, correctly to fit. Let that drop down in there. I don't see no snaps or nothing to hold it in there, so it may just fall back out, but it's worth a try if it does. So we're going to just sort of let that back down in there. And give her a couple good squeezes here. Make sure it locks back. I think it locked. Nope, it didn't lock back. Alright, so let me get my other hand down here to do this, and then I'll be back with you. Alright, so I got that back together. I figured out what it was. So I guess where I'd pop them loose, you know, with that screwdriver, you know, which there's not really a way to do. But when you put it back in there, you need to squeeze and sort of push down on whatever clamp you're working with, and, you know, he'll sort of lash back. So I got the cover on. I got my button sitting up there. I'm going to grab this plastic cover here and just sort of snap it back on, make sure it's good to go. And, you know, put it back in the machine, put my screws back in. You know, obviously plug it up before you shove it back in there. So, and we'll try to do our fender here in a second. Just stay tuned. Appreciate you all for the, you know, got a few technical difficulties I need to work out, I guess. So, thank you guys.